Hey all, I'm Nina Roberti. I'm an animal communicator, intuitive, Reiki master, energy healer. And this is Bailey, my counterpart, who I am grateful to be walking this earth plane with, as he is teaching me many lessons. And I am his protector and guardian, so making sure that he is safe and protected. However, I think at this present moment, he is making sure that we are safe and protected as he's holding space for me to do this video. He is a highly intuitive, intellectual, and very sensitive being. So this earth plane right now is very dense. It is a challenge for high sensitive beings to be operating and navigating the world. So a lot of animal companions, our pets, are going missing or they're getting lost. When an animal or a pet gets lost or goes missing, we do have to realize that the animal is on its own journey. It is their free will. It could be many factors that the animal has decided to check out. And that may be actual in the physical realm, in that they may decide that they want to go off in peace to transition. But that has also been predetermined by them as to how and when they're going to do that. And we can do another video to go into more detail about that. But an animal may go missing or go running into the woods or whatever it is that they may do that it appears that they may be lost, but they may be needing to take a break. They need to take a break from possibly our human energy. The world is very chaotic, and as humans, we know that we live in a very scheduled, frantic, stressful life on a day-to-day basis, with trying to get your kids to school or meeting deadlines or making sure that your house is decorated for the holidays. Whatever the situation is, we place a lot of stress upon us as well as society. And that energy is very difficult for an animal besides the human. The animal a lot of times tries to take on our stress or our emotions. You know, when we are grieving, the animal wants to console us, or they try to take that on. When we are happy, they are also just as happy with us. However, when it is very stressful, or there's, let's say, if there's argument within the household, or the kids are yelling or running around, or you're possibly pulling out decorations, there's a lot of commotion going on. And notice what your animal does. Your animal usually goes and hides. I know mine just goes and runs upstairs because there's too much going on. You know, and it's only me, so I can't imagine when there's a lot of kids or other animals or just people coming through and your significant other. There's just a lot going on. Notice what your animal does, because they're feeding into your energy, and a lot of times they don't want to deal with that energy. I don't know, would you? I don't really want to be around people that are very chaotic or stressed out or dealing with traumas all the time, and it's very dramatic and all of that. I prefer to have a very peaceful, calm life, just as Bailey does. We have a much peaceful, calm life, and I think he's saying, yes, that's true. Life. So really make sure that you are very conscious of your energy. So we are the protectors and guardians. As for me, it is a privilege and an honor to be the guardian of Bailey. But that is for every human and animal companion that is on this earth plane, and we decide that we are their guardian, and we need to make sure that they feel loved and that they are safe and protected. And that also includes making sure that we are grounded, that we are calm, that we are centered, and so that our energy is very peaceful and is harmonious, so that the animal is happy to be around it. Because when it becomes too chaotic, they want to exit, just as I do, and probably you as well. So a lot of times we need to check our energy. And when animals do go missing, I make sure that I, inform my client or let them know that they need to do something to keep their heart open. I know it is a stressful, devastating time, and we have a lot of empathy for that. But we need to make sure that we keep our heart open, that we are calm, that we are centered and grounded, so that our animal wants to come back to us. We have an energetic cord that is connected heart to heart with our animal beings, right? Yes, we do. And we want to make sure that they feel, well, of course they feel it because we are connected. But when there is stress or anxiety or depression or too much going on, our animal doesn't really, it doesn't feel good to them. As I don't think that it probably feels good to you when you walk into a room that someone is going through those emotions. So they may, decide it's time to check out for a little while. It's a timeout for them or for you. But unfortunately, we need to make sure that we stay calm. And for us to stay calm, maybe we need to get into nature. We need to do yoga. We need to meditate. Maybe we sing, we dance. We get lots of love from our animal companion. But we need to make sure that we stay grounded and calm and full of love. That we need to keep our heart expanded and open so that our animal companion knows that they are loved and protected. So that when they are, possibly have decided to run off, that they are able to find their way home. And most animals are able to find their way home, and they are going to go straight home because this is what they know. They're highly intelligent and they're highly intuitive, and they know where to go. I mean, one time I went to my dad's house in Florida, and I had, not Bailey at the time, but two other beautiful souls, four-legged ones, which were my babies. But I had one dog that he had been in 5 different homes, I think because he was a runner. And maybe he wanted his freedom. Who could blame him? But as soon as we drove up to my dad's, which he had never been to, he immediately got out of the car and just bolted and just decided to take off. I'm sure he was like, oh, I'm free. Let's go experience Florida and check out the ocean or the sea or whatever. In the past, he's done that before, and I used to chase after him. I used to search the neighborhoods, ups and downs, run after the car. But since we are humans, it is a little bit more difficult because animals are so agile. They move so quickly. They can cover miles and miles in the time frame that we're not able to. And animals do move quickly, like throughout the night. They can travel. They can go over bridges, under bridges. They can cross highways. They're very intuitive. We as humans put limitations upon them, but they don't have any limitations because they know that basically they're able to do whatever, and they can see. When I say see, they're able to intuitively know what's going on. They can sense. They have their antennas that, it's kind of like they can sense when dogs are coming or a bear is coming from, probably 10 minutes in advance because they have a more open field than we do that they're able to see into. As an animal communicator, these are the things that I do, is that I tap into the animal. So when a dog has gone missing, I tune into the animal. I usually kind of merge with the animal, so I see through the eyes of the animals, and they show me images. I get feelings, sensations in my body. There are knowings, and I hear things. So a lot, for a few animals that have gone missing, some pieces of evidence or things that I have shown them was that one cat had gone missing. A girl had been moving, and she moved across town. And it was a little chaotic. She had broken up with her significant other, and there's a lot of chaos. And of course, with moving, that brings a whole nother element into it. But her cat decided to bolt, and she thinks that probably the cat may have gone to her original old house across home. So we tuned in. As I tuned into the animal, I was showing her all different images of where the cat probably was, but it's a little bit more difficult because when you are in a car, as compared to foot, it's a little bit more difficult to be able to trace back their steps or to know where they are. However, I would just send her texts and messages and say like, oh yes, I saw this old-timey blue vintage car. It feels like the cat is near. And she texted me something the next day saying, oh my goodness, the cat came back and there was a blue-timey old vintage car in the parking lot. So you can't make that up. Animals show us what we need to see. There's other circumstances as, I had a client, and I don't, I have clients all over. They're in Canada, they're in Montana, they're in Belgium. They are all over the United States. So I don't really know the terrain as to where it is that you're living, but I know what the animal will show me. And they will show me images as I am clairvoyant, so I see a lot. and they will show me what is important. So all of a sudden they may show me like a red barn or a structure that I would say is pointing to the northwest of the property. And I also send Reiki, so that gives them a little boost of energy to make sure, as this animal dog had been missing for 8 days, I was describing the property of her neighbor three properties down, and she contacted her neighbor and asked her neighbor to open the barn door. And sure enough, the next morning, after 8 days, her dog had basically arrived home. So it was a wonderful reunion. And she had kept her heart open, because we do have a connection. We have a heart-to-heart space of connection. And I usually like to shine a spotlight on major landmarks or on the house so that they're able to see that in the energetic field and the astral realm. And as a human, as the protector, owner, guardian of the animal, you can also visualize seeing that energetic cord and kind of pulling them into you and making it very expansive, full of heart, love and peace and harmony, so that they do want to come home. Because a lot of times, all that stress and the grief or chaotic energy, the animals need a timeout. They need some peace and harmony, as they are high sensitive beings. So I always ask the human to make sure that their energy is in check and to make sure that they are calm. However you do that, whether you do yoga, go dance, go meditate, which I think I mentioned earlier. But there's a lot of, things that we can do. However, when an animal communicator tunes in, we're tuning in for that moment, and it is that time and space that we are tuning in and showing you images that they're showing us. In a day or two after that, the animal could have completely moved. They move very quickly. So when we're tuning in, we'll show you what we're receiving, but that night it may change, or the next day it may change. And we could have possibly 4 animal communicators tuning in all at different times. They're going to receive all different messages. But even if they tune in at the same time, some may receive some messages and some may receive other things. It's what the animal wants to show us at the time. And it doesn't mean that any of it is incorrect. Actually, most of it is very accurate. It is what the animal is showing us, because you can't make things up when all of a sudden you are describing a neighborhood and you're saying it's probably 3 streets over, that the animal is 3 streets over, and your neighborhood is only 3 streets. There's no coincidences. It's not, you can't make it up. And when you say, oh yes, well, I'm being shown, a shed with a tin roof and there's a bench in front of it, and it turns out to be your neighbor, you can't make that up. And there's no coincidences. So I would definitely follow what your animal communicator is telling you, because we are very tapped in and we are tuned in, and we do feel the devastation and it is sometimes very difficult and challenging for animal communicators to tune in to lost animals, because the human is very devastated, and rightfully so. So for an animal communicator, we have to step out of that energy. So that is very challenging for a human animal communicator. So many do not do that. We all, however, do want to assist you in finding your animal, as we're all empathetic beings, and we're all here on this earth plane to exist and to make sure that all of our animals do remain safe and happy. Let me think, is there anything else? I believe that that's about it that we covered, that our animals are on their own free will, their own soul journey. So they may also have their right to decide where it is that they may go. So even though tuning into an animal to show them, they may not want to be found. But I always ask the client to envision a reunion, a celebration of life, as to reunited with them, whether that's in the physical world or, possibly maybe they have transitioned and you're reuniting them in the spirit realm, because that is actually celebration. We as humans are the only ones that look upon death as an ending. It is actually just a cycle, and animals already know that. So we can go into that in another video. But I did, as we were walking into the holidays, I would like to make sure, as a reminder to people, to please make sure that you're very conscious of your animal through the surroundings, the energy, the chaos. Make sure that you show them, give them extra love and extra attention, and show them how much they are loved and appreciated, and how it is an honor, because we are coming upon winter and it's going to be very, very cold. And so that adds another layer of having an animal disappear or get lost. And that is another level of devastation for the humans. So when we have grief or anxiety, the animal can feel that. And so that's another level that possibly is like, okay, well, you know what, maybe we just need to stay out here a little bit longer. And when it gets too cold, then, you know, that's not a good thing possibly. But that is the animal's choice, and they do have free will. So there's many elements that go into missing animals and lost pets. So if you do have any questions or would like to private message me, please do. My information will be in the video below. But please, during the holidays and the winter months especially, and just all times, let your animal know that you are their world, because we are their whole world, but they're also our world. So you need to let them know that they are very special, as they've chosen us to make sure as to walk this path with us, and that we are honored and privileged to be able to do so and to be their protector and guardian. So I hope this video was helpful. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment or message me, and I would appreciate if you like, subscribe, and share my channel. And let's keep all these animals safe and loved and protected. And you can reach out to me. It's ninaroberti.com, and I will see you on the next video. Get into nature and enjoy some peace and calming, centered and grounding. Thanks. Bye-bye.